Well, thank you, Tucker. So dating is going digital. With a growing number of people turning to technology to find love, can an app or a website really help you in finding a long-lasting relationship? Let's ask the co-founder and CEO of How About We, Brian Schechter, and the founder and CEO of eFlirt, an expert, and the author of Love at First Click, Laurie Davis. All right, guys, this is a really interesting concept. You know, about 20 years ago, people were putting ads in the newspaper for dating, and I remember thinking that sounds crazy. Then it went to the internet, but now it's as easy as your phone. So, Brian, this is in possibly some ways a really good thing for people who are wanting to find love.
Absolutely. I mean, the internet has really brought forward a true reinvention of how people find love today. And How About We began in 2010, focusing just on helping people to get offline. And since then, we've seen more and more usage take place through mobile devices, which we're now seeing a tremendous explosion of over the past year.
All right, now, Laurie, I think for a long time there was a stigma against online dating. Now that we've gone all the way to a cell phone, is that stigma just gone, or is it a generational thing that the stigma's gone?
No, I mean, I have clients ranging from 19 to 70, so it's definitely not an age thing. The stigma is gone. And, you know, if you think about the way that we communicate socially, it happens a lot digitally too. So it's natural that with our dating lives, we want to do that also.
It makes sense. Now, Brian, 11% of adults have used online dating sites or mobile apps. 3% used them 5 years ago. So this is a big increase in that. I know a lot of the younger people who are using this think of this as maybe meeting somebody for right now, for a date right now. But it isn't just that. Or is it just that? Be honest.
Sure. So we do see very different behaviors of people depending on how old they are. So when someone's in their early 20s, they're often flirting, texting, and then going out sometimes. But as people mature and get into the late 20s and 30s and really are looking for a relationship, then you find a much more serious and committed kind of user behavior towards meeting someone you want to be in a relationship with.
Okay, it makes sense. So, Laurie, I want to ask, you are an expert in e-flirting. So there are ways you say that you can actually use this or kind of help to make it a more useful tool to actually find love?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, it's technology. So one of the things that we help people do is optimize their experience on technology, and that's something that you should be thinking about as a single. For example, if you make some small tweaks to your profile or you upload a new photo, usually you go to the top of the search results, and that's where you want to be. And also, like Brian said, getting offline is ultimately the reason why you're there. It's the most important part. But increasingly, I'm finding that people struggle, especially when they're on apps, with getting offline because the transition isn't always as smooth, which sounds surprising, but it's true because you're using in-app communication. So it's more like texting than emailing. So just remember that ultimately you need to get offline and try to do that within the first few days of communicating.
Isn't there some kind of an addiction that happens with these things where you're looking at so many people over and over again that isn't that just part of the game?
So one thing that we've seen at How About We is the way the site works is people go on and they say, how about we, and then they say a date they'd like to go on. So say, how about we go get sangria at this rooftop bar I know? And that premise of here's what we're going to go and do focuses the conversation around getting offline quickly. And that helps a lot to get out of just the addictive behavior where you're essentially just seeing who likes you and who doesn't like you. So our focus has always been, how do we help people to actually go and see if there's a real spark with someone in the world? Because if you don't figure that out, what's the actual point?
All right, and Laurie, be honest, what are the best apps? If somebody's thinking about downloading an app, what do you think is the best app out there?
Well, there are so many, which is the challenge, but the truth is that the best app for you is where you find the best matches. Some sites attract different types of people, so the best thing to do if you're looking to join a new site is to join for free first and go through some of your matches, and then you can decide if it's the right fit for you based on the people that you see on it.
That's great. Laurie and Brian, thank you very much.